Regina
you.
Askia joins live.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Good to see
See
you.
you, sis.
Hi,
I don't know whether
everyone.
to call you sis or auntie because you were already there when we were upcoming.
Anyone will do. Anyone will do. I don't have my
How are
face
you
on,
doing?
but it's okay.
You should have seen her when she was in her prime. God, this woman.
The most
The most
beautiful.
beautiful.
Thank
Wow.
you.
She's still
Like,
very fine. You can see.
Like watching her
Thank you.
on TV was like, oh
I
my
remember
God.
the most
Like,
wanted. Growing up, I saw
When you left Nollywood and went abroad, Nollywood was not the same again. You, Liz Benson, there was somebody else who left
Oh
that
my
period.
goodness.
We're
Thank
like,
you.
no. These were the people that set the foundation for the Genevieve them.
True.
And Genevieve is already a veteran.
Oh
true.
my God. It's been many
Yeah.
years. Many years.
True.
Look at everybody. Good to see you. I miss home. I miss all of you. Oh my goodness. It's beautiful
So-
to be your. I've been listening to your conversation, you know. It's sad. It's sad. It's really sad. But you have to consider the culture of where he is and how they interact with each other there. It's a culture shock when you leave a society like Nigeria and have to adapt, in a society that's very different from yours. And you have to also take into consideration what that man is going through. I'm not supporting violence in any way, but you have to consider what that man is going through. For real. For real. You know, I used to work with Emeka, and I never met his wife. I don't know his son, but I know family dynamics that can push you to something like that. And there's no deeper hurt than when people you have sacrificed your life, your savings, your everything for, kind of turn on you. It's sad, you know? It's sad. So I hope that they find a way to make it up to each other, maybe apologize father to son, and pull through. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I
And you
wanted to
keep talking
ask,
about our
what was
parents
your...
how many of us have gone to schools? How many of us have kids? It didn't affect us negatively. We turned out well. We did good.
That's a point right there. That's a big point right there. Because
But maybe it's because we don't use thingy in Nigeria. If lots of people had access to this thing in Nigeria the way they have access to it here,
You think so?
They would have find them.
You think
it's
But no, we are tough.
it would
We are
be
tough people.
catastrophic. Yeah.
We born to be hard and to be tough. We received it tough.
I think we have heart. I think we are more emotionally present and considerate, you know. And life, we value life. I think in Nigeria, I've been away for too long. We value life in Nigeria. I don't think that people can pick a gun and somebody, you know, just because you have road rage, you come down and somebody. I don't think that would happen in Nigeria, you know.
there's a new one that started happening in Nigeria now. People be bashing their car like rams fighting.
I saw
It
it.
just started like 2 months ago. There's a level of road rage we have entered right now in Nigeria where you go bash person motor, the person will come screen. Let me ask you a question, Regina. You've worked with Emeka Ike before. What kind of person would you say Emeka Ike is?
He's a gentleman. I like that dude. He's a gentleman, yes. I have never seen any type of violence with him. But that's not to say that people don't change, you know. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened between him and his wife and him and his son. And if that audio is anything to go by, then it's a very sad situation. But from what I have seen, I worked with him once or twice. I haven't seen any type of, even though there were rumors of it, I have not seen him, you know, actively violent against anybody.
You were talking about dynamics in our society that makes Nigeria different from the US or Europe. And I totally agree. Normally, it's a normal thing for a parent to look at their child and say, look at his head. Why you don't get sense like this? Oshe Gobai, no. I don't know if you speak Yoruba. Yeah.
Dear,
But I
dear,
remember my
dear.
grandmother would look up at me
Almost
and say, "Why you
kekere.
just dance like this?"
Uh-huh.
Sorry?
Kere, kekere.
Kekere.
Let me sorrow you,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
kere.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is, and I didn't like it. And I also transfer it to my kids. Sometimes when they do, like this, my very beautiful daughter here, sometimes when they do things, I just lash out. It's not good. But at the same time, it is how we were all raised. Now, a lot of people say you shouldn't make excuse for us.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, how do you raise a kid in 2023? It's tough. And you are a mother. How old is your oldest child?
My oldest child is 31. Okay. And she's a stabilizing factor. You know why? Because she was raised in Nigeria. All right. My
Oh.
other kids are Americans. And the liberal society in America is one that you really, really have to put your hooks down before you can have any type of control. Soon as a child gets to 18, you have lost all types of hold or all kinds of say. You don't have a say in anything they do. They can decide to do whatever they want to do. But in Nigeria, we're somehow, still cognizant of the fact that a parent is a parent, right? In Nigeria, that is our culture. We respect our parents. But out here, a child can turn themselves into anything, and the school supports them, and the legal system supports them. You as a parent are just a sitting duck. You have no say in what your children decide to do. And if this is where Emeka has found himself, can you imagine? The heart of a father. Let me not say, because I don't really know the whole story. I don't know if it's between him and his wife or him and his
It's
son.
him and his wife that now spilled over to him and his son.
Okay. All right. The dynamics, the culture, the dynamics of a culture out of Africa is very different from what we have in Africa. And in so many ways, you people have it so good, you don't understand. We were talking about how you're able to raise children in a culture different from Africa. It's a very difficult thing. It's a very difficult thing. So out there, just be thankful that you have your children around you, still listening to you, still respecting you. I'm glad that my oldest daughter is a stabilizing influence on the younger ones. They listen to her, maybe because they are not so far apart in age. They listen to her, and she's able to mediate between me and my American kids, because Nigerian mothers, well, we have a thing going. You cannot see something that is unacceptable and be quiet. You're going to put your foot down, you're going to try to flex, but the kids are going to tell you, who the hell you think you are? So my daughter comes in the middle of that and stabilizes everything. I'm very thankful for that.
Which is indeed a very beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Did you watch the interview? The young man, that's Emeka Ike's son, gave Chude, the way he was talking about his father. I don't know. What's your take on that?
I'm going to tell you that anybody will defend their mother. Anybody will defend their mother. That's a female, right? And what that woman was saying, I caught a bit of the interview that said she was in the car, and then she got a blow to the face in the car or something like that. At that point, I couldn't watch it anymore, because I know Emeka. I don't want anything to mess with the impression I have of him. This was a very sad story this woman was telling. I did not watch her son. I didn't hear what her son said about that incident, but I heard what she said about that incident. And personally, I have walked that path. I've experienced something like that, and I'm not going to defend anybody being against, a female. So I couldn't watch it. It was a very difficult thing to listen to.
Would you like to share a bit of your experience as a woman and how it affected you?
Okay, so now you see something like domestic violence, it's a very dark path for any family to go through. And you have to wonder what informed, what led to the violence. But, you know, at the end of the day, we each are responsible for our actions, okay? You can't say it's because somebody did this or because somebody did that that made you do this or made you do. You could have walked away, right? You could have walked away. You could have removed yourself from that situation, no matter how hurtful, you know. Situations, you know, can create a very frustrating environment where a man will like lash out to his spouse or family or whatever for whatever reason, you know. Like I said, the ball falls in your court. You decide what you're going to do. Are you going to continue to be to a person, or are you going to caution yourself and take yourself out of that situation? Most women don't recognize that the violence is cyclical, right? He buys you flowers, he apologizes, you make up, you start again, he buys you flowers, you make up, you start again. Now, it takes counseling to recognize the red flags in a situation like that. Oh, you would never know. You would think it's okay, or you would think I forgive him, or you would think it will never happen again, but it will, you know. So until you get some counseling, both of you, one person for anger management, the other person to recognize what is going on, you know.
Now, have you ever, as a mother, found yourself in a position where you are in between a father who is angry with his child, and how someone is saying no volume? Yeah. And how did you handle that situation?
I have found myself in that situation, and you have to be some kind of shield between yourself, between the father and the child. I have found myself in that situation. And not only that, my husband has found himself in a situation where he had to be the shield between me and my child. You know, so these things happen, but it takes a special level of maturity or self-control to be able to pull yourself back. Sometimes we fail because nobody is perfect. Sometimes we fail. Sometimes we cross the line, you know, we make mistakes, you know, and at that point is when you should sit yourself down and say, what could I have done better? What other choices could I have made in this situation? You know what I'm saying? So as we're criticizing Emeka Ike, we should do it slowly. You know, send the brother some prayers, advise him to go for some counseling, anger management, take himself out of that situation until he's, you know, better. Don't you want to talk to your other guest? I think I'm talking too much.
No.
She wants to ask a question. Go ahead.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hey, beautiful. How are you?
I'm fine, ma. I wanted to ask you, do you think it's possible that the reason why the children are siding the mom is due to the fact that he might have actually changed from the person you thought him to be?
So there's some part of you that believes that maybe the has been going on and the children noticing this and now decide to stand up to defend their mother?
Yes.
It might be, you know, we were not there, we don't know. It might be. And children are like that, you know. They tend to defend who seems to be the underdog, you know. And in these cases, especially when it's a female, the children will defend their mother.
I
And
wanted
that
to
is
ask.
not me throwing Emeka under the bus. That is not me throwing Emeka under the bus. That is me just talking about generally what tends to happen.
And so Regina, can I ask?
Go ahead,
Yes.
Samara.
Yeah.
Okay, how about the double personalities we talk about? Because I just still believe that there are people that just show you only what they want you to know about them. They treat people differently. They maintain a particular, they just present themselves in differently at workplace. You know, put up those professional attitude, which may not be the same in those. What do you think?
Oh, definitely, you're right. You're very right about that, because you see how we, in some situations, we see a person and then we say, "Oh, that's the nicest guy, that's the kindest guy," and then the wife is complaining this is happening to her. Nobody believes her because what we see is perfect. This is why I say we don't know what is going on behind closed doors. We don't know. So if this kind of stories are filtering out, rather than throw the guy and the lady under the bus, it is best to advise them to get some counseling, right? And get help to save their relationship. Because I mean, if you're going to stay in a marriage or in a union, it is not the union of two perfect people. It's a union of two imperfect people who have decided to stick it through, to get whatever help they need and rescue their union. So we would do well to send this brother some prayers and advise them to go for whatever counseling help they can get. Yeah. Let's
Okay.
not chase
I
him.
want.
Let's not beat him. Let's not crucify him or throw him under the bus. He's a good guy. Let's encourage him to do better, by his wife and family.
Mm, I wanted to ask you: have you ever, out of anger or frustration, lashed out at your kids verbally?
Yes, so yes, so African mothers, we
Since
do
I'm not
that
the
a
only
lot.
one.
I'm not gonna lie. I should smile and say, "Oh no, that is abusive behavior." It's not. I have done so. Most of us are guilty, especially if you're from Nigeria or Africa and you find yourself. Have you not heard? I'm gonna kill you today. I'm going to kill you today. If you say that to a child here, they take it very literally. They think that
Uh-oh.
you're trying to threaten them. I'm serious. People have gotten arrested for stuff like that. And the kids take it very seriously, and then they start talking about emotional abuse, start talking about all kinds of and then you look at your say, yeah. So all the things that your grandmother and your mother and your aunties, your grand aunts, in Africa it takes a village to raise a child. All those people that were knocking you or pulling your ears, so they were abusing you, and then you start wondering, but I didn't turn out so bad after all. And then you question yourself. So these children will really think that I would kill them or what? You know, um, I think that's the culture shock. We all have done that. I have really yelled at my children, and they used to call me. They used to say that I have African slapping instincts. I had to call myself to order because I don't want to go to jail. For slapping a child. Here you would go to jail for that. You know, I had to call myself to order and really caution myself because it's no joke out here. A child
Mm.
says something like that in school, you're coming in to see the principal, or somebody's going to have a talk with you, or CPS is going to come to your house or something. Got to be
Uh,
careful.
yeah, absolutely. And one thing I noticed is our parents then would like Sabio, shout out to Sabio watching. He said many parents have disowned children verbally before. You are not my son. In fact, from today on, you are not. Now, the problem is, how do you now settle when the heat now calms down? Do you apologize to your kids?
Um, my children have said to me, "Mommy, don't even bother. We know you have a hard time apologizing. Don't even bother." But the thing is, it would be nice. I'm still on a journey to be able to say to my child, I am sorry. But I have done it. I have counted my teeth, chewed my tongue, and I have said, I am sorry. But it's difficult. It's very difficult. But then you live in the same house, you provide for the children, you take care of them, you put food on the table, you put a roof over their head. Would somebody who hates you do all these things for you?
Mm.
And then they'll tell you, is it because you bought me a car? Is it because I'm in your house? Is it because of this? All those things. It's because I love you. You're still here with me. I'm taking care of you. I love you. That's why I'm doing that. So if I step out, once or twice, you need to learn to forgive and know in your heart that I did all those things, um, out of love. My parents used to say, we beat you because we want to correct you, because we love you. But do you have to beat me with a switch? This is what I used to ask myself when I was younger. But I'm not beating my kids like that. I might be verbally volatile, but that's it. That's it.
I wanted to also ask, before we tire you out with our plenty questions, when are you coming back to Nollywood?
I was speaking with Ramsey recently, and he thinks that it's about time to come. My time wasn't my time. I used to be so busy, as a nurse, especially when you're working in the hospital on the unit. You don't have time. But now I have my medical practice. I fix my own hours, so I'm able, if I wanted to take time out and do what I want to do. Maybe, that will happen sooner than never, but it will happen.
Why did you leave?
The $1 million question. Okay, you take your eyes and look at the matter right now, okay? Considering how headstrong and sassy I was, do you think I would have made it in Nollywood with the banning and unbanning and whatever? I live on my terms. I live on my terms. And then you can't say that to a producer, or you can't say that to, I live how I want to live. I'm not going to do this or that or jump through hoops just because I want a job. No. So I'm very happy that the opportunity came and I was able to up and come to live in a community where you get as much as you put in. You work hard and you play harder. It works out.
That's what's up.
I'm glad I left, because I don't think I would have been able to. I don't think I would have been successful in Nollywood. And apart from that, I had a complex, right? At what point am I going to live for myself, right? I was living for the people, trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to keep up with appearances. At what point was I going to be true to myself, do what I love to do, and be true to myself, So, contributing, caring for somebody, nursing somebody back to health, being part of little miracles like this every day was very nice. I appreciate the opportunity. I love what I do, and I make good money too.
Let me ask you, as a nurse, which do you prefer? Acting, because you're good at it, or nursing? If you were to pick one.
Okay, so in my time, right, acting was rudimentary, I have to say. It was just starting out. And at this point in my life, right, having nursing as something, as a career or profession, I think it's a very good thing. So I would say at that time it worked for me. But at this point in my life, nursing is what works for me. I'm a nurse practitioner now, and I'm doing very well.
Period.
Thank you.
On period. By the way, the lady beside you is also a nurse.
Oh, nice, 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 nice. Congratulations, lady. Congratulations.
Thank
Samaria.
you.
In
And you
Nigeria,
guys kind of
which
look
country
alike.
are you at?
The US too.
Oh, nice. Where are you calling from?
Texas.
Texas?
Mm-hmm.
Nice, nice, nice,
Where are you,
nice. You see, so you can
Regina?
corroborate what I'm saying. So you know how it is.
I do.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a beautiful, very fulfilling
It is.
profession. Yeah,
It
it's
is.
rough. It's rough in the beginning, but there's more space at the top. So when you are in that profession, you try to
They
go
have
up. It's,
happiness to care,
yes,
to nurse back. It is.
yes, yes. All right.
Shout out to all my nurses watching me. Big shout out to you guys. I love you
Shout out to
loads.
all the nurses. Thank you for all you do. It's a thankless job, but thank you for hanging on in there and giving the best of you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Thank you.
this Regina and Mrs. Samaria, how do you manage to balance your work and social life as a nurse? Because I heard it's very hectic.
That's a very good question. I
Good,
think I
right?
should let you talk because there's this thing that people say that nurses are, as soon as a woman becomes a nurse, she turns on her husband, she destroys her family. Nigerian men have shot their wives or whatever because the nurses are so, like proud. They don't want to. So, Mr. Maria, take it over from here, and I'll hide behind the curtains and listen. Okay?
Amaria, over to you.
Well, oops, sorry. It is what it is. I try. You work hard, you play hard.
You
Like
play harder.
I've been away from work the past few days. I'm going back tomorrow, hopefully. The thing is, you make your schedule. So you pick when you would like to work and how many days you want to work. You're required to work at least 3 days. So if you decide to work extra, that's up to you. If you decide to work 2 days, that's up to you. So it's very easy to balance. I mean, I would prefer to work just few days in a week and rest than working every day, Monday through Friday, like my old job. So.
But the bills are not going to pay themselves.
Okay.
There you go.
Why did you say that,
Hey,
Chris?
yeah. Go ahead.
But would you advise raising children abroad?
Would you advise raising children abroad?
Who is this child? This child has some very punchy questions.
Because I really made it. I made a mess indeed. I just spilled something and she's wiping it and telling me, Mom, why did you make a mess? Sorry, baby. And she's just
three. Punching us below the belt.
She's just 3 years old. She's just 3. No.
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, see, that's the example. How would you want to raise your kids? You raise the kind of kids that will question you, Mom, why did you make a mess? If you were a kid in Nigeria, you think they would ask you that question? Not all kids will have the guts to ask you such question. So raising kids here, raising kids back home, it all depends. I mean, you can still raise kids here in a good way if you're a good parent.
Merry Christmas. And I think that our job takes us away from the children so much. And the guilt you feel when you leave your children in the care of somebody, but you can arrange your time in such a way that you are there for your children. I mean, when my babies were young, I raised them. I had a daycare in my home, so I was with them. When they started out in grade school, I was a substitute teacher in their school and at the same time going to nursing school. When they got to, the higher classes, my nursing courses and my nursing school got better of my time. And then when they got started to go away to school, I was able to go away to work. So if you can arrange your time in such a way that you spend a lot of time with your children, it will be helpful. But having said that, believe me, when you have the support system of your parents at home, your grandma at home, or your auntie, or somebody in there helping you with that child, it's a far better experience than being here, you, your child, and the TV. It's a very, first of all, very lonely experience. And when you have to do all these things like work, cook, take care of kids, and it really messes with your mental health, and it also messes with your physical well-being. So in that aspect of having a good support system, I will say raising your child in Nigeria is a far better experience than raising your child by yourself out here. Yes.
So
that was a very
good ask her a question. Amarachi, where are you going to raise your children?
Where the wind takes me.
Where the wind takes me.
What did she say?
She said where the wind takes her.
Oh, it will bring you here.
No. Here's the next question. And we're ending here. I know Regina is tired. Let me not stress you after this. Marrying, because I know you married Oyinbo. Let's talk about, because I know she too, her eye de Oyinbo. So, I hope I'm not burning any young man's cable. Because the way I look at Amarachi, the things that she likes, Niger man no fit give you. Now Oyinbo will give you that kind of attention,
honey,
love.
Go for it, baby.
Ask you, would you you picked a spouse and your spouse is Oyinbo. My mom is Oyinbo
Oyibo.
and my dad is black.
Ah, ah.
So I know the dynamics and the culture shock. But if you were to do it again, would you still pick Oyinbo over Nigeria? Because I knew you had suitors in Nigeria. You are very beautiful and intelligent. So let's talk about that.
My husband is not Oyibo. But I don't know if you can call Big Rudy Oyibo. You're talking about Stephanie's father. Stephanie's father is a French man.
Okay.
I met him in Nigeria. Yes. So Stephanie is mixed like you, but Big Rudy is African American. He might. I don't know if I can say that they are black. I would just say that they're a different color, because there's nothing that is black like us that I have noticed in him. Because the culture is totally different. Even though we're the same, if we want to talk about complexion or race, or even though we're the same, the culture, everything is totally different. So there was a huge culture shock factor in trying to stabilize my relationship with my husband. We went through a very rough patch. And if we did not have therapy, I don't think we would still be together. Believe me. If we did not have therapy, we would not be together. I came as a very sassy, fiery African woman. I'll be clapping and shouting in your face and telling you what I had to tell you. I will call you a shameless man. I will call you anything that was on my mouth to call you. And then African Americans are not used to that type of thing. You know, it's a serious culture issue. So we had to, like, I had to learn to control my mouth, and he had to learn to control his temper. So while he went for anger management, I went for counseling to find other ways to express myself and what I had to say. So we went through all that, went through the culture shock, went through the separation, went through so many things, but we decided to stay together, and that is where we are. So if you ask me, am I going to choose him again? I would, again and again, because he understands my special type of madness, and I understand his also. There we are, He's not a Yibo, by the way. There's a whole other dynamics about the race system in America, racism, and all kinds of things. So having lived that and experienced that, I would marry a black man any day.
Woo! Thank you, Auntie Regina. You got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you see, Daddy Freeze, this question you asked her, just like she was saying, my boyfriend then, he's American as well. He had an issue with just me offering him food. He just flamed up. Oh, why are you always asking me if I want to eat rice? And then offering me goat meat. You can imagine, like, things that shouldn't be a problem. It can get to that extent of someone thinking that you offering him food is a problem. So you see how they can get off. I was like, look at this one. Something like a typical Nigerian man now will be happy and glad that I brought you all this. And here you are complaining that I'm offering you. I'm always asking you why you want to eat. I mean, if you want to eat rice and stuff like that. So he's really difficult dealing with these guys for real.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been such a lovely day. Regina made all our day. She made the day for all of us. Big shout out to her. If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen. Pop my money gun. You guys came and heard Regina Askia for free. You not even pop one single money gun. And I could not even talk about money gun because I was too busy enjoying Regina's gist. So guys, thank you all so much for this lovely opportunity. Samaria, thank you for being there. Ebere, you never requested to come back after your camera was doing like this. So thank you all so much. It's indeed a beautiful session. In as much as we all want to judge Emeka Ike, we pray we don't find ourselves in that situation. And the dynamics and culture shock of the average Nigerian is different from what many of us have subjected ourselves to with the Western media that tends to influence how we think and act. So thank you all so much. Amachi, thank you for such brilliant questions. Big peck on my cheek.
But you've not apologized, Daddy Freeze.
That's how we apologize. I apologize. Baby
All right, thank
Amarachi.
you. Good
I
evening,
love you so
all.
much. I'm sorry if I ever shouted
Oh,
at you. Each time I
oh,
use
that's
the
sweet.
F word on you, I'm very sorry, even though you deserve it. But
Oh.
I'm still sorry.
And for the one
She's
you will do
fine.
tomorrow, you're apologizing as well.
Yes, yes,
Apologize for the
yes, yes. But
one
they
you
need
do
to
tomorrow
come.
because you do another one tomorrow.
I try not to. Have I not improved?
Okay.
Okay, okay. I apologize for the one that I will do tomorrow. Guys, don't forget buy direct from USA.com for all your supplies from the US: cars, clothes, accessories, phones, electronics, car parts, anything you need from the USA delivered to your doorstep in Nigeria. Buy direct from USA.com. And you can even pay in Naira for something you see in dollars. You can pay in Naira and get it. Take care and God bless. Sama baby.
Nice.
Yeah, forgive made man yo.
Mm.
Forgive made man yo. Samaria, you're not saying anything. You're just doing like this.
The
Forgive
difference is
made
not me
man
now.
yo.
The difference is not me.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.